All right, good morning, everyone. It is 7:50 a.m. Eastern Time, June 18th, 2025. And let's see what we have as far as economic news. I think we get an FOMC about 2 a.m. Let me go ahead and open a browser here real quick. You don't need to see that. Platform. If I can maybe set this up. We're going to do a Q&A today. See if we could actually put this here. Looks like it's on right now. We'll let it just run and we'll see if we get any questions and answers going. Question and answer group. I think I got this set up pretty good. Take a look at what we have here. 8:30. We have initial claims. We got a few folks joining in. This is going to be a Q&A, question and answer. It's my first streaming video, so help me out here. Get a couple more folks in here. Maybe we'll get like 10 viewers, and then I'll open up the questions and answers. Anyone have any questions, or do I have any subscribers? Punch 1 if you're a subscriber in the chat. The log in here. So far, the volume is very, very small here. My style of trading works out better when we have volumes and momentum. I'm a scalper. See if we could have a look on the, oops. I don't get it. It kind of looks like I got some latency here. Oh, looks like I got some latency here. All right. My first live stream. If you could hear me, type in 1 in the chat. First live stream. If you could hear me, type in 1 in the chat. See how to do this. I'm learning. So if you have a question, post it. I'm learning. So if you have a question, post it. That's how you do it. All right, that's way better. All right. Wait for the volume to pick up. Maybe I'll do a little trading. Totally transparent. If this doesn't work out for me, I'm not going to be doing much of this. Totally transparent. If this doesn't work out for me, I'm going to be doing much. Right, it's 8:06 a.m. Eastern time. Pretty much pre-market, I guess, hours. Hoping that the volume comes up a little bit. Maybe we could do a little trading. Maybe I could answer a couple of questions. This is my first. shut this volume off. Yeah, don't piggyback on my trades. We have a little bit of latency between when I'm talking and the transmission out to the feed. You take trades based on what I'm doing here, it's on you. Looks like the latency, probably a few seconds latency. And that could make or break your trade. So don't trade my trades. Don't copy my trades. It's particularly the channel I created I always catalog my trading for the day. And I had a friend who said, hey, just make your stuff public. I think folks would be able to learn from it. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And folks did. They find the information valuable, and I've got over 150, I believe, subs. So I had a subscriber comment that I should do a live stream. So I woke up at 5 in the morning, figured out how to do a live stream, and here we are. So I'm going to be doing a question and answer, so just feel free to put the questions in, and I'll answer them verbally. You have to type them in, and if I see them, I'll answer them. Maybe I'll get a couple of trades out today. I need to see more volume. I am a scalper. I've been trading since 2008. I believe I have an edge in the market. I don't mentor. I don't run a Discord, nothing like that. I'm just a retail trader like you. Try to follow institutional order flow. And this is primarily my setup. Very, very basic. This gives me all the information that I need to remain profitable. Do trade footprint, which is the first here. I create a 5-minute candlestick chart. Volume profiles. Each profile represents a full day of price action. So I believe in common sense trading. I believe that trading should be simple. I believe that your chart should be set up with indicators that are useful. To your trading. The simpler, the better. So I'm looking at this chart. And with my strategy, pretty much setups come pretty quick. Set up in a scalping situation. You need volume, and you need well, primarily volume. If I have good volume, I could get a trade and a range. I usually use a 10 tick stop with a 20 tick target. The target and the stop could be manipulated, but I'll always keep at least a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. And I raise the target up, my stop could be wherever it is. I will never increase risk. But once I move that stop, it'll only be moved to decrease risk. All right, a lot of traders don't get that part of the equation. If I'm thinking that the price action will take me to maybe a 1R, which is a risk to reward at 1, that's where it'll be. So you'll see if we take a trade, what the how I manipulate that. You're a beginner trader, or even an intermediate, even maybe not a pro. I mean, when I talk about pro, I talk about folks that are doing institutional trading, which a lot of this stuff has been taken over by computers. That's why you get that little volatility. You always got to watch out, and that's why it's important to have a stop and a target in mind. Always put a stop down anyway, because even if just to have it as a safety net. Stops become market orders. Early trade limit orders. All right, so it's 8:13. I think 8:30 we have a little bit of 8:30 initial claims, continuing claims, building permits, a few things. I mean, the impact it could be impactful. I mean, it could move the market. At 10:30 we have a crude oil inventory, and 2 o'clock is the important one, which is the FOMC rate decision. I know the president is calling for a rate reduction. Works independently, and they'll decide on monetary policy and interest rates. So that's that. And I have a browser open on another monitor as well. I believe I am. Yep. So the market's up about 9 points, 8.5 points. Single digit order flow. This action should probably pick up in about 11 minutes. I still don't know what any of these settings mean. Concurrent viewers, chat rate, views. So I'm thinking views are just folks who tuned in and tuned out. Concurrent viewers are who's here now. Viewers connected to the stream. Okay. All right. Current viewers. Healthy. You should be able to hear me. All right. I just made another setting change. Latency won't be that bad now. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not getting any feedback yet from anyone. So the market is up 9 points. It's 8:23 a.m. Volume is very small amounts of volume. See what the headlines read. Oh, there's the war going on. Well, Israel and Iran. By 8:15, Iran says it won't surrender. It's a little turbulent market. We'll see. You're an oil trader. Probably going to be a decent trading opportunity for you. There is a Fed meeting about 2 o'clock today, I believe. So as far as what I've heard, President Trump is asking for the Fed to drop the interest rates. The market has been doing pretty good. So in about 5 minutes, I'll start the play-by-play. I haven't taken any trades yet today. So typically, if you're new and you're viewing the stream, thanks. It says I have 3 viewers here. Five concurrent viewers now. So I post pretty much whenever I trade. Every video. I do record all my actions, my trading to journal, to create a journal, and review my trades at some point during the day. And it's primarily to become a better trader, to go ahead and, maybe there's something that I missed in my analysis. And just try to improve. And I've been doing this since pretty much day one. A lot of it's been on paper. So, but being the technology got so good that record it. So I was recording on YouTube and just making the videos private, just my own, just so I could keep it for myself. Then a friend said, "Why don't you just make it public?" It's like, all right, I could do that. I said, "What do you think I should make it public?" He said, "Because other folks, they're going to enjoy the content." Well, sits down, he watches me trade, and he's like, "Yeah, they would love that." So I just do it, and it's been good. I got about 150, maybe even more now, subscribers, and I try to answer all of the comments. So I'm streaming today because one of the subscribers care what format I recorded, and basically I just record it and then I post it. I didn't want this to actually turn into a job, another job, like be a content creator and whatnot. Folks, they decided, they'd like it and they tune in. So this is going to be a test, kind of how many people are actually tuning in and finding the content that I'm creating and putting it on my YouTube channel, SteveTrader66. If it goes over well, I'll stream more, and maybe we'll do. Right now, it's just going to be a question and answer. I'll do some trading. Something shows up, but right now the volume is too low for me to even think about it, and we're in a consolidation mode right in here. So it's really opportunity, not great. We're in a value area, pretty much, and I'll explain my charts. If you need me to explain, put the question in the chat. What I look for if you're new here. Check out my other videos. Something that you want to get more information on, give me a comment. But I trade the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't filter or edit any of my content. It's unscripted. And that's the way I roll. I want to make posting as easy as possible or stress-free as possible. Trading is stressful enough. See what kind of resources we got running here. Not too bad. CPU utilization is not great. See the consolidation up in here? Like a point or two. Can't scalp in this. Well, I can't. I don't look for like a tick or two. I look for a point or two. Point or better. And some volume. I need to see some movement here. Buying and selling. Look at these single prints to trading. And having no position is better than taking a position with no analysis. Morning, Sayansu. So right now with the volume's very low. Anything could happen with small volumes. I am trading the MES, which is the micro contract of the S&P 500. Morning, Shermat. If you could hear me, just type 1 in the chat. Look, thanks. That was pretty, I think I'm getting a little bit of latency. Hopefully not. It says that my stream is excellent condition. I don't know what that means, but hopefully you guys will be able to hear me. It's my first stream, so just bear with me. I'm trying to iron out the tweaks, yet also keep an eye on the market. I think within the next 15 minutes, we'll probably get a little more volume coming in. And usually every half hour or on the hour, we'll get a little movement from institutional order flow, institutional traders coming in. That's what I've seen. So it's like 8:35 right now, not much. There are a few things coming out on the economic news today. Be like right here. $8.30 initial claims. Not great. But we don't see much of a all these buyers are getting trapped. What else do we have? Initial claims. Better than the number they expected, but continuing claims, building permits. Probably won't move the market at all. This will move it. Crude oil inventory, stuff like that. So the funny thing about the numbers, when they're pre-market, if you see a big then the open pretty much, and we don't see a big move with the numbers, a point or two, or whatnot, really not affecting anything. So commercial, they're it's baked in. It's baked into the market, the number already. So I think the big news is going to be about 2 o'clock when the Fed have initial the FOMC rate decision. That's going to be big. That's going to be that could be a good opportunity for a trade. So yesterday's close was at 59.85. Still up 4.5 points. We got to see what's happening in the Middle East. And the FOMC. So all these sellers, we'll keep an eye on 59.90. A little step in the profile here. Down to 87.50. Very small numbers of volume. 3,000. Very small. These selling imbalances here. Very easy to push to manipulate it because the volume is so small. So it's easy to manipulate the price action. Kind of stuff will get you killed, so. Yeah, Bayak, I just I got your message and your comment, and I decided, let me see what I could do, you know? Always trying to add more value to the channel. Yeah, that was your idea. So kudos, man. Just hoping that we get a little more volume here. So he's saying that the sound is okay, but hard to see the candle's number bars. I could open these number bars a little bit. I mean, like something like this. And up a little bit here. Once the market opens, I could probably, with the candles, I don't use the candles pretty much to trade. I use it as levels of to trade. It's just easier seeing the levels here than moving the first screen. Tightening it up and looking. It's just way too much. I pretty much look at first 5 candles or even 10 candles. But this type of movement, especially here with the volume profile, I have another volume profile on the third chart. But what I'm pretty much looking at is I'm just pretty much eyeballing the levels, and the size of the candles. Can't remember all the information, so that's a good visual for me, but I don't trade off like the EMA. I don't trade off of the VWAP, but I do like to know where the open, the closes are, where it ended up, the lows, the highs, and that's why I use this. Do I understand price action? And I understand where where the retail traders are going to trade. So I look for opportunity there. I try to trade with, and I'm always scoping out where the bigger money is, where the folks who can move the market are, and trap out retail traders. All right, so I'm trapping out everyone else. So that is my strategy, really. And if I can make a point and a half, and have enough range where I can let it ride, especially with one contract. When I trade multiple contracts, it's a little easier to get more of a move, because I played the contracts against each other. See what just happened here? You just had a bunch of these sellers come in. That's not retail. You know, that's commercial, just throwing in sell stops. This is what you got to watch out for. This is why you got to stay on your hands. You know, just sit on your hands. Don't do anything. Wait for the market to make its move, right? Seeing if it's a real move. Because a lot of the, you know, it's all computer driven. So we take notice, and it's great. This is why it's nice to have order flow. Even if you don't trade the order flow, do the complete opposite of what I'm doing. Just take a look at what information is aboard, and you could also trade the candles. As long as you know what the numbers mean, and you're more comfortable looking at candles instead of numbers, then that's your edge. All right? That'll be your edge. All right? I can't teach anybody to trade, because I've developed my own style. Just like it's very difficult. I see these gurus online. You know, I could teach you to trade. No, you really can't. You know, because my risk tolerance is different than yours. My train of thought is different than yours. Everybody's different. So by exposing just the basic mechanics of certain things, you'll figure out what you want to use, what's beneficial to you. Like I don't have a whole bunch of indicators. I look at numbers all day. Just use what's going to make you profitable. You know, don't look at other traders, or they use a MACD, or they use a, you know, crossover, or they use certain whatever. That's what they need to make you know, to make it profitable for themselves. You find out what you need. You're an individual. You're going to think differently. You're going to trade differently, and that's what makes up the market ultimately, right? If everybody traded the same, you know, market's not going to move unless we get market orders. So this is pretty much telling you the market orders that are hitting it's telling you the market orders. And that's different from using the DOM, the depth of market, which tells you the orders that haven't been executed yet. What's sitting in the book, waiting to be executed, which is highly manipulated, which I used to do back in the day. But footprints is so much easier because this is the now. This is happening right now. This is nothing waiting in the book. I don't care what's waiting in the book, because all this is telling me what's happening now. You know, a lot of folks 10 years ago, the DOM was a lot different than right now. You know, you have people putting in bids, and then they pull them, and then they stack them, and it's just a pain. Gives you a headache. You don't make any money. It's too much. You can't make a decision. Can't make a decision. The idea is to look at the order flow, make a decision, put the order in, manage. That's pretty much what I do. I learned through the years. A lot of it's noise. Right now, you see what happened here? They're trying to get a bunch of sellers, but there's no volume. And institutions they just put the orders up. You know, that they'll put it out there. And they're going to wait. They probably bought, you know, they probably already have a position. Look at the institutional order flow. Where would it be institutional? This is not institutional order flow in here. Numbers. They're going to be going in. Here's institutional order flow. See this? Singles. They're just testing the waters. He's out there. And they raised it up. Then you got some retail coming in. And they just started buying it up here. Buying it up here. Right? So we're taking a look at this. Maybe right in here. About 98.50 is where institution is able to manipulate all this price action. All this price action. Buying a few, selling a few. They have big pockets. So they're able to do all this manipulation. We need to determine what's real and what's not. Because this order flow will be hidden in the rest of this consolidation. This looks like an area like it's 740. It looks like institutional order flow. Take a look at these candles. Right up here. 983.75, institutional order flow. Yeah, I am streaming in 4K actually. Yeah, 1080 with this screen size. I have a pretty I have I think a 40-inch monitor, 40-something inch monitor. So I like to keep a lot of information. For me, my view is perfect for me. Um, if this hits off right, I'll buy a bigger monitor. But I don't see the value right now in me upgrading my equipment for right now. If this channel ever gets monetized, then I'll just put the money that I make from the channel into the streaming or into the channel. I'm not going to use it to live off. If I could do this, this will be good. That's better? Okay. That'll work. I'm okay with this. I may move it, a little bit. If I could do something like this and then maybe like this, and I could do this sort of like that. How's that? I could work with this if this is fine. What time is it? All right, so we got 10 minutes to 9. Let's see if we could just take a look at this chart and make a little heads and tails on this. So that we're getting to the bottom of the value area here. This is where the low volume area is, the value area low. And this is where a lot of the opportunity sits. Right in this area. Within the value area, which is the light blue for today. So let me explain this. Last 3 days is the dark colors. Today is the blue, which is the background, which is right in here. Under control, right? So we're near where most of the trading for today is occurred. There really isn't a lot of opportunity. What I like to do is I like to fade into the point of control. But these numbers are very, very small. 2,500. You want to see 7,000. You want to see 8,000. And I look for numbers to accumulate. And I look for numbers to move. And I look for buying and selling here. If I'm a buyer, I'm bullish, or I'm a buyer, I like to see the price action go up. I want to see selling. I want to see who's coming in. Because that's going to give me my risk value. It's going to tell me, yeah, add more risk, move your stop up, move your stop down, move your target up. Take a small profit, take a small loss. I see two-way trading, and these are pretty much market orders coming in, except for maybe the first, and I do gauge the numbers on the sell side and the buy side. You see hardly any sellings coming back. You have all these buyers. You hit a resistance level, selling starts coming back down, but the numbers didn't get any higher. So that's telling you that buyers are going to be coming back in. How's the footprint now? Are you able to see? Everybody able to see it? These look pretty large on my screen. So hopefully you guys can see the price action. Good. All right, awesome. We'll keep it like that. I'll just keep a mental note. All right, so let's just take a look. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, how many are new traders here? Are you new to Orderflow, new to trading? Let me know. Type in the number of months or years that you've been trading, and what kind of trader are you? You a scalper? You a longer term person? What do you want to see out of this stream? All right, so when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at volume, and you kind of get the volume is below here as well. So I'm looking, we probably have, I would say maybe 500 average volume in these last 4 candles. That's pretty much not a lot of trading. Okay, day trader. You trading futures? Wow, you've been around 20 years. It's a long time, man. It's like me. That's good. It's all good. So, all right, we got some. So, what do you guys want to see? I mean, we got it between 5 and 20 years. Trading is, you're a scalper too. Good. Uh, yeah, trading has changed. You know, it has changed. It is almost 9 o'clock. So 5 minutes. So now the volume's starting to pick up a little bit. Now this is where I want to see institutional order flow. We had a bunch of selling come in, and now we're moving up a little higher. We're starting to consolidate about this area, and I'm seeing some two-way trading. So hopefully we get a bunch of buyers or sellers. Doesn't matter to me. I'm scalping. ER2. I don't remember ER2. That is actually. Don't know. So I try to look for things that are not normal in the order flow. Abnormality, whatever it's called. Abnormality. Is that what it's called? But I do see this. I see all the selling imbalances, all these selling imbalances on the left-hand side. All sellers, all sellers. Then you say, all right, we got some buyers coming in, right? But not enough. Not enough buying. We had sellers come in, pushed up right at this level. That's what I'm looking at here. Value moved down a little bit. All right. The value area went up a little bit, right? We had a little bit of delta. We had a negative candle, so we have what's called a divergence in delta. Came back down a little bit. So I really want to see what's happening at 9 o'clock, 9:15. Ah, the Russell. ER2. Wow. No. I was always a S&P 500. I don't do well in the Nasdaq because the order flow. It's too wanky for me. I don't see enough numbers. There's just a lot of manipulation in the Nasdaq. Yeah. Well, now it's big. NQ. A lot of scalpers trade NQ, but the swings, I can't trade those swings. 95 even, and say 86. That's what I'm looking at. Here's an area. You can see this profile, how it ended right here, and pretty much the selling ended. There was no passive sellers in the books to even take these trades below. You have the aggressive sellers here. We also have passive sellers that are sitting on a level 2 book or a DOM. And they weren't interested in bringing it down any lower. And look at the last 3 days, we did have a lot of volume in here. Today, not much. You see, there's not much of a profile. Of right about now, 89 zeros or 89, I say even to possibly the POC. It looks like a little belly somewhere in here. I mean, we may be able to come up, but right now, the volume is just not there for me to even participate. I am checking it out. Like right in here, looks like a decent area to trade. Possibly this level right in here looks like a nice little area to move in, maybe 90 right about in here. You got a little step in the profile. Could act as resistance. You know, if we're coming back down, maybe support, you know. We did have some support up in here. These numbers look good. This is unfinished. Unfinished. We could come back down. 18.2, 18 sellers, 8 came back for the buying. We could come back down here, maybe move down to a low node about 87 and a quarter, since we've been here before. You know, we need to see how this develops, this area. Yeah, NASDAQ is just way too thin. Plenty of liquidity, but you don't know what you're catching. I mean, and you can't do limit orders, so it goes against the grain for me. I mean, you're probably marketing and marketing out, and then, you know, at the end of the day, you're a winner or you're a loser, you know? I like to kind of calculate my trades. Everything that I do is pretty much calculated. See, we have a little, like, I'm looking like this little gap. And that's what the candles are good for. Instead of looking through, I mean, I know there's a gap here. You know, right in here, I know there's a gap. But the quickie, right here, gap, right here, gap. There's a gap right here. So 93.75 hasn't been hit yet. 90 or 90 and a quarter, 90 and a half hasn't been hit yet. This one filled. Anything below? No. And I'm really only concerned with what I see on the chart. Pretty much what I'm concerned with. So we took a look at over here. We're going to probably come back up here. It's right by the VWAP as well. You know, circling the VWAP. Now, a lot of traders will tell you, oh, you know, if it's below the VWAP, you know, you should only be taking shorts. If it's below the, you know, EMA, you should be only taking shorts. I mean, just follow that. Yeah, you may, you know. But what happened with something like this? We did have sellers come back down, but we had buyers up in here too. So the buyers are here. There was buyers here, you know, at one point. This is still good. This is open game. See, very thin volumes, you're able to move up and down. So this could kill you. You want the bigger volumes. You want it to move. You want it to, you know, and you monitor it. just very small volume, just took her right up. So we went up, you know, maybe a point, point and a half on that volume. No indication, no nothing. It just, you know, they put the orders in and that's it. I don't have a level 2 here, but that would probably give you you know, a little more of a hint. But that move isn't big. So I just rather, if I'm in the trade, I'll just manage it. You know, these small little moves move quick with no volume. And the buying just came in. You're losing the selling aspect of it. Sellers came in. So yeah, you may be a little more bullish here. You know, you have a couple of selling imbalances here, which what I don't like about this software is it still tells you that you had some here, yet the price action already went above it. So it's a big seller. I'd be more concerned with selling here at the bottom. If these numbers start increasing as the day progresses, 2 o'clock, I think, is going to be the tell anyway, because that's when the Fed, and there could be a real opportunity to trade on 2. So why this number do we have 30 buyers, 11 sellers? You know, we had a POC. You know, we take a look at that. This area right here, it's still saying about early on, you know, 90 even would be the area I'd be focusing in, like right around here. Take a look at how fast these numbers, so it went from 7 to 15 to 39. All right, what I mentioned before, sell these sellers, it's insignificant. We just were able just to go above it. No sellers came back. Nothing aggressive here. So I wish the software didn't push it that far. End it right here when buyers started coming back in. You know, look how many more buyers were aggressive than the sellers. $905. I figured we'd have a little more volume. You know, 600, and it double, having a lot of market game here today. I can see us popping through. Just do this for a sec. Right up in this area, about 95. Fix something here. I don't have a marker. Yeah, I'm still on the M, I believe. Yep. Did the contract switch over already? What is it, 18th? Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, they probably switched over by now. Good call, man. Yeah, let's go with this. Yeah, let this come through. Yeah, man. Good, thanks. Yep. See if we got a little more volume here. Yeah, we'll see what kind of volume we got. Maybe we do have volume here. Yeah, this takes a little time for it to populate. There you go. All right. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Yeah, this looks good. Way more. I lose track of the days sometimes. You know? Yeah, that's good. This will all fill in. Yeah, these are the volumes I like to see. Yeah, good call, man. Thanks. Yeah, me and you both, man. All right. So let's go. All right, let's get back here. I thought if I went to one day it would print. I need to see the candles. Let's take a look at this price actioning while this thing makes up its mind. All right, this gap filled. Here. All right, so 50 even. All right, that's way better. All right. Let's go ahead and make this a little bigger here. So for those of you who are tuned in that aren't familiar, that isn't familiar with the screen, this is an imbalance profile right here. Let me go ahead and grab this. Right here. And the delta profile is right here. And this gives me all the information I need to go ahead and decide what kind of trades I want to do. What trades are setting up. And this is it. This is the numbers that I look at. You know, so hopefully through my older videos and the videos that I've been posted already, you know, just watch for maybe 10 minutes of video. Just pop into a video, turn it on for 10 minutes, you know, because I don't edit my content. I just run it as is. I think that's the best way. Well, actually, for me to review, when I review it, and what I basically do is I journal all my trading, and you know, just to become a better trader. And I've been trading since 2008, and you know, I always want to get better. You know, if you could save a tick a year, you know, I typically put on anywhere between scalping 10 and 30 trades a day. When I record, I trade one contract. When I'm not recording, it's a multiple contract. And I do that by compounding. So gains and losses, you know, they're bigger. Of course, we keep the losses to a minimum. Keep your capital. I don't trade prop firm money. I trade my own funds. So each one of these are separate in its own on its own, but when you combined it with the delta, the aggressiveness, or who actually won that particular tick. And I say tick, I don't say candle, I say tick. We go up a little higher like this. Each tick is a quarter point. Quarter, 50, 75, 1. So each one, where, you know, right down here was an even number. They were a negative. Go to another even number. We had a positive. We go to another even number. Go back below, a negative. All right. So why here at even numbers did we accumulate? All right. So there's a lot of things that you could do analyzing what we see to what we don't see. What we don't see is what you pretty much want to look at. We just went up 103. Look at the rest of all of these candles here. I mean, these numbers. What's different? It's different. 108. There's nothing in the hundreds here. Why here? Had 119 sellers here. Now we got buyers at 108. Right? We had negative delta here, nothing here, now positive. All right? Let's look for that again. Keep that in your mind. You know, this is all positive, this one. But we went to 0. So in other words, this area right here at 46.50, and I always, all my videos, I'm telling you about 50s, I call them halves, or zeros. These are accumulation levels of where the big money is accumulating or distributing. I can't say that word. But anyway, that's where they're trying to, you know, and you want to keep an eye on those. And you could enter, or I enter usually, you know, on the quarter or the 3/4 mark, 0.75 or 0.25. Now take a look at this number here. 133 buyers were not able to get above this even number. Okay, so you got to watch out for these even numbers and the half numbers. You know, just keep them in mind. Don't, you know, and I like to keep everything like this. That's why I like to keep my, where I can see the 50s and ones. I'll just put my middle thing on here. So we have 10 minutes pretty much to the open. We have a bump in the profile right about here, which is the POC, point of control, where most of the trading has occurred, or most of the yeah, I guess the trading has occurred. We're still unable to get above here. I'm still looking at that. We have a decent delta with nice volume. This is a bullish candle. Two-way trading here. We could possibly make a move up, maybe to 50-0, 50 even. We'll see. No sellers are coming. Now you have sellers coming back. You still may be able to get a push up. There's one little push. 59. One came back. So buyers still, you know, they want to be here. Time to build the volume. Very small volume node here. All right, this is pretty much where the ledge is in the profile at 41 buyers. So this is a finished auction. This is finished. So far within these last, let me get these out of the way. What we do have here is we do have participation. The deltas are coming up. This is an unfinished auction. We have 9 sellers came back with 91 buyers. We want to see a 0 or 0 below here. Now let's take a look at how fast we're printing. What I mean printing is another number, you know, up or down on the scale, and we're not. So we're accumulated here. You see that? We have 21, 21. All right? 23, 21, 22, 23, 26. You see up in here? We got some sellers coming in. We're not able to go any higher. 9:22 a.m. Market is up 10.5 points. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is my first live stream, so, you know, give me some feedback. So far, I got some decent feedback saying that, one, you're unable to see the chart, so I was able to just make it a little bigger here. I do have a wide screen, so the formatting is probably a little different than those who have just regular screens. I'm trying to tweak as I go. If I do more live streams, just let me know what you need to see. All right, so now we have a finished auction here. So what I do is I take a look at where the positive delta is, right in this area here. Right in here. Price action is right here now. This is where we're at. We're just staying there. You see it? Well, we just stood. Prices, we have, 7 minutes left till the open. I would expect this, if we're going to have a big open, I would expect this to be moving. So I'm just going to take a look at the volume right here. And I'm concerned with this number right here. 146, 85 came back. This is a big number. This is a big number. So does this become resistance at the open? So I'm looking right now at what is accumulating. So this is going to be the last candle. We have 31 seconds, and then we'll get another candle. See where that one shows up for the last 5 minutes before the open. So you want to have patience in this game. Usually I do pre-market trade. All right, so sell order right here. Came right in. We had gotten support right here, right at the 9 EMA. Coincidence? I don't know. And it's one tick above 46. Finished auction. Get these lines out of here. See, the buyers didn't go for it. They're expecting another leg down. Did have some buying here. Got a bunch of sellers coming back in here. Almost 5,600. 93 sellers. 118 sellers. You got some resistance here. Building a little quad of they're right in here, right here. So here's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on here. I'm focusing on here. That's my focus. I know this number is in my, this number here is in my, I'm looking at this too. Not so much though. I'd like to see a break of this area right in here. I'd like to see a break here. But I'm really focusing right here. Here's where I'm focusing. Because the next move up is 50, which is here, right in this area. 51, 50, right about here. 50, 0. All right, so we completely went above the area I'm looking at. That's good. So I'm looking for a push up. I'm looking for, to move up. This would be a good area to hit right here at 53. So these are the areas I'm looking at. Try to keep the, okay, so now we have like a minute left. Remember we had the sellers come in before? They were just running it down. They're starting to run it down again. Okay, so let's move these things together a little bit. It's hard for me. I need to I need kind of everything here. So let me see if I can move this just a little bit. This I really don't need to see. Something like that. And see like how big I can make this. That. Maybe get it just a little closer. Up. Yeah, this is good. So we had buyers right here. This is why it's so nice to have this little delta column with the histogram, because you're able to see, just a little clusters of volume. So right now it's 929. A negative delta. See this number become less negative. Let's take out the momentum. So we're at 5,000, 5,100. Delta is fluctuating. You got 5,200, 5,300, 5,400, 5,500. Delta is getting negative, 56. No selling, just one selling imbalance up here. A bunch of buyers came in, and we are just, this is not going to work for me here. I'm going to have to drop this down a little bit. I need to see the price action. Always look left. Always look left. There you go. Here's some selling imbalances. Buyer right here. Very small buyer. Still valid. Right here is valid. It's the valid price action. Right by the building a little negative delta here. This is a 40 to 41 right in here. We'll see what happens. See if we become positive. All right, so these are big buyers here. 500 on the buy. Came back down to a previous level of support. The next area of support is right here. 40, 50. Came back up. Next one is this. And this is the big one. This is where the buyers started buying at 41.75. Okay, this is where the big, and with the gap. This was substantial. When they opened it went above, created a gap. All right. So all this pre-market play here, I'm not taking anything here for the trade off of. I'm going to trade off right here at the 745 candle. That's what I'm going to focus on. Okay. It's half into the candle. Focus right here, 42. Right in here. Right here, 42. This is where I want to be. And it's funny, right by the VWAP, right? $35 even, you see? These even and odd, and even in 50s. When I say even, I mean zeros, 0.00, and halves, 0.50. So the building value, delta value right in here got some huge numbers. Right, 714, that's a big number. Now compared to the rest of the numbers. Looks like we're going to actually, yeah, starting to look like we're going to make a move to the upside here. We're right down to the open. Yesterday's close is right here. Numbers, nothing, this was a big number. We had all those sellers come in. It's a big number right here. There's a significant level right there, 37 even. That's significant. Let's take a look at there. That went up pretty fast. And it just settled. So anything happening in the news? Right in here. Unfinished business, unfinished auction right here. See if buyers start coming in. Nice number, 25,000. Pretty decent. 4 minutes into the 35, I was saying. All right, 36. Got a little buying over there. I'm gonna go long right here. Test the waters, see where we're at. Think we got a good push. Think we're looking decent. May see a little resistance right here. 40, we'll see. Took a couple of ticks. Don't like the price action here. You had the delta, then you had the swing right here. But so look at the amount of sell. This is looking good now. Okay. Starting to look good. We have 10,000 right here. I thought we were going to hit that and see a little resistance. It's at 40.0, but I think we could actually make another run up. Let's go ahead and see that. Just making a small retrace, possibly. Let's see. I'm going to move this down a little bit. Positive delta right there. We're going to go for a small little hit right about here. We'll see, about 1-to-1 ratio. We have all those sellers come in. I want to see these buyers start accumulating. There you go. A couple of buyers just came in. There you go. You got a little bit of the... we'll see how this works out. We got a couple of... we're going to have maybe a little bit of resistance here. Stomach is making noise. I'm kind of hungry for some breakfast. Should enable my hotkeys.
You gotta focus, bro.
I know. I think we should be able to at least get a point out of this. We'll see. So what I did is I just basically took my stop and I raised it up. Just didn't like the price action. So raising your stop up, see what's going on. I'm a little slow in my entry in my exits, but that's okay. You know, I'm up pretty much 2 points. Relatively small amount of time, 2 minutes. Still trying to get a feel for the price action. You put little, just little trades out there at the beginning until you get into the flow. And this is unscripted. This is my first stream as well. So let's take a look at the big numbers here on the right side on this volume profile. You got 10,000, you got 10,000. So 10,000 at 40 even, 10,000 at 39 even, 10,000 at 42.50 or halves. Okay. So 42, I mean, I did have that right. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in this area. Right now, we're getting a little bit of consolidation right through here. They're just trading a lot right in this area. That's what the candles don't show you. It does show you in here. Look. There's just a lot of trading back and forth right here. All right, so we got to go ahead and find out, all right, what's our move? Do we have a trade? Can we make a point? You know? And once we're in, can we, you know, can we sustain a move? Do we need to move our stops? You got to be proactive. You know, to be successful in this game, and coming from my own experience, and you know, as a trader who's lost money in trading, trust me, this is not, you know, you can't let the money get to you. So this is my thing with the money. Have a daily loss. Okay, have that in your mind. Let's say you're trading the micros and you're trading one contract, right? And you're new. And let's say you start an account with $1,000, and that's a lot of money to some people, okay? It could be a ton of money. And say, you know what? $10. If I lose $10 for the day, I'm just going to sit on my hands for the rest of the day. That's 2 points. Now, if you're trading the E-mini, that'll be pretty much $100 lost for the day. Right? And that can happen pretty quick. Let's take a look at how fast that can happen. All right. Right now we're at 40.75. You're still in the trade. All right, let's say you're long. You're still in the trade. You're break even right now. It went up to 41.55. Okay? Goes to 42. Right there. You would have made money. Well, 42 has to go up another tick. Okay? Look at the numbers here. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Look at that. All right. There's a lot of trading here. Do you take these trades? Look at this one. Another 10,000. Now we're starting to get some volume. I like this stuff. But you've been out, yeah, you're still in the trade. I mean, you're still there. $10 loss. You're still in it. But at this point, I'm like, if we can't move up, I'm going to go to break even just to get it, because you should have won it. There you go. Boom. You made money. You made $100. Right? And normally, a new trader would win, and they would think it's easy. And that's when they lose their money. That's when they lose the house, I call it. All right, so let's get back to this. We're building a lot of value up in 43 even and 41.50. We're building a lot of value here. You see this thing going? Right? I like to actually fade these things, but our drop will be substantial. We'll be dropping down to this number if we let it go. And it looks like we may be actually testing the low right here. So you don't go long right there, right to the tick. Okay. Now you're saying, all right, we pretty much got a good handle on what's happening with this candle. What happened prior? All right. We came back down to here. This is where we kind of opened. We went up. There was no buyers to take. I mean, plenty of price action, but sellers look like they're taking over, right? Now we may see a little bit of support here, or slowing of price action. But if it blows through here pretty quickly, chances are it's going to come back up fairly fast. So it's kind of, I call it shake and bake. All right. See what happened here? We're coming up kind of, quick. Here. We want to kind of look at, it has 40 again, right here. It's starting to build right in here. See in here? So sometimes it'll coil. In other words, it'll start compressing, and then right after a compression, you get a release. Now, you don't know if the release is going to be up or down, unless you're looking at the price action, but you don't know how far the release will go. We're going back into that value area right now. Right here. So let's take a look at the delta to see if the delta decreases. So you want to see this number start decreasing. See, you went up to, now what I saw is negative, right there you go, 17. Now we're down to 2s, to 4s. Okay, so I want to be long. Let's take a look to the left. Okay, so I want to be long here. I'm not going to get and put anything in yet. We had 0. Do we have a unfinished auction anywhere here? Nope, nothing in my line of sight. All right. If we do go long here and wait for the pop, right? That would have been a point. We're still coming back down. We do have some sellers here. We have some sellers coming back here. Let's take a look at the delta. Delta is increasing, not as much as I'd like it to. But over here, there should be no reason why we couldn't get from 44.75 up to 46. So this is something that I'd probably want to do, right? It could change. We have huge amount of deltas here. You see, 129, 138. So we're making our strides up. We don't have major volume here, right? We can't get above. Now we'll see if we get above this this number. Now you may get a little fade in through here. I'd be happy with numbers 154. Now this is unfinished. Chances are we're going to hit it again, but we don't know how far up we're going to go. We have 12,000. And oh, the 9 EMA, we're above the VWAP, right? The closer we get to the VWAP, the more the institutions want to start manipulating. We have all these sellers. We only went down 2 ticks. Okay, buyers are starting to come in. I'd like to see this hit about 300 right here. This number, it can. 330, we're not going any lower. We got a buyer that just came in, big buyer. Little resistance here. Could we go long here? That's it. Yes, looks like we could possibly go above. We'll see. I don't think we're gonna take it too low. Let this one ride a little bit. We did have a little resistance here. Just manage it. 148.39. I don't like that. We're just going to get a small little win. Right with that. That was 1.25 right there. Those who are going to be looking at this this video after the fact, if you like this kind of content, this is the first live stream I'm doing. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I don't mind doing live streams. It's kind of easy now that I'm. Well, it's not easier. It's getting easier. I'm sure that the stream will get a little better. You know, once I get some feedback, and I like the actual the chat. It's helping me with my game here. I like the participation. This is why I'm doing it. Channel bills. Look at this number here. 210. Look at this. With 22 coming back. Got to learn the behavior of the price action. Okay, I was a little slow. I was a little slow in the. That would have been a trade I would have took. So we'll probably see a little bit of resistance here at 48. Maybe have a little trail back. We'll see. If not, yes, it's getting a little pullback. But these numbers are looking very good. The positive delta here looks very good. I don't know. I'm not looking at the. Let's see if we have any news here. U.S. stocks rising cautiously after opening bell as Iran says it won't surrender. And that was at 9:47. Oh, What happened today? Okay. Doesn't look like the market really cares. Yeah, I think they're more concerned with the interest rates and not the war. Let's take a look at this level right here at 49.25 to the right of us. So I'm thinking once we go 49.50 and above, there should be no reason why we can't, move up any higher. So far, I really like the price action. Unfinished business. That went very fast right here. 49 even. We got to take a, wow. Yeah, I think we're going to actually make a move. We did go to the top of the profile, which is nice. We still have a 50-50 and have this right here at 50. We have a gap. So the gap shot up, went to 52.50, came back down to 50.25. So we're at the gap area right now. So we need to close above. This is looking good. Remember, we had some sellers come in here. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen again. We did have buyers, prior candle, 54. We did, all right. So right now we're below the gap. We need to fill above it. And then I'd be willing to take a long, and probably a bunch of people would be. Bunch of sellers would be. They're waiting for this gap to fill. And we're on a 5-minute candle. There are a lot of traders that trade 5-minute candles, scalpers. I switch between 1 minute and 5 minute. I like the 5-minute candle because it gives me a little more. So we went up pretty fast from the 50 to 50 and a quarter, but we didn't go above 52 and a quarter. So let's see if we go. There we go. All right. So now I'm looking for an entry. Little step in the profile right here. Very minimal amount of. See if we about 50, maybe right around here. You don't want to catch a falling knife. Remember, we had all those sellers below. If you tuned in earlier, there were a bunch of sellers right up in here. We took it down. We came back up. All right. Came right back down. There was a lot of sellers right in here. Buying came up. We have a gap. We have another gap here. All right. Looks like we filled this gap. So there's still, yeah, I think we'll fill that gap. Little bump in the profile right here. Let's just open this up like that. There's a new profile for the 9:30 session. We go for the breakout right here. This is looking pretty good. See if we hold this level. If we hold it, I stay where I am. This don't look good. But that did. Here at this step of the profile. A bunch of these sellers. Now moving down. 542, 540. So we're seeing it right here. This is becoming less negative. $190. See if we hold it. All right, so we're in. We got to manage. We got to manage the trade. Got to manage our risk, reward. At least 1-to-1. We'll probably take the hit. Actually, it still looks good. The one, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right, that was good. We did a 1-to-1, made that. And you got to take the small profits now because look at the way it's retracing back, you know. But the important thing is to maintain your risk reward. Okay, you drop the target down. You got to lift. If you're going bullish, you got to lift that the proper way to keep everything maintained. And the way that this market is moving, you got to always keep in mind your risk reward. What can you get? You don't want to risk more than what you can make. So we retraced all the way below the POC. So I'm not looking here for a long. We take a look at this candle, all those gains, and if you had your stop down, you're out. You lost money. So we took 4 trades. And we're up. Yet. I say yet because it's inevitable. I'll probably, trade for another 5 minutes. We'll see if we get another trade. I'll at 10 o'clock, the stream down. You have a gap here as well, 49.25, 49.50. I wouldn't hold that much weight in that area. But right now we got a new candle. We're right in the middle. Could go either way. Negative delta. Let's see if this becomes less negative. It did. All right, so now we just went positive, right? But we're not making any new highs. That could change. Right here, this profile here has ended right. It ended good. We have a big step in the profile here, so we may see a little resistance of 54.75 right about here. And you did have some negative delta. Once we're above here, I think that we're going to have a good entry. So I'm going to go ahead and front run this, kind of like a breakout. I do see the numbers come in. It looks kind of even. 161 with nothing coming back. 192. See how that just popped? 194, 230. We're still maintaining a positive delta. See if we hold above here, above the POC. 518, 520. And this is substantial. This POC right here, you see how both candles, the point of control for both candles are there, yet the point of control is here. You see down here below? Get this out of the way. I'm doing a lot of manipulation here. Let's go. Oops. Not letting me go to manual. There you go. Point of control is down here for today. 42. Right? So the opportunity above, we have a good opportunity here. So the value area, which is the light blue, there's still opportunity, but your more opportunity comes outside those areas. The value area high, that's where a lot of the opportunity comes. So over here could go either way. And you're building a ledge here, 7,600, 7,800, right? See the negative delta becoming more prevalent here? POC didn't move. Right? Even if you see the POC move up 1 or 2 ticks, just nothing's happening. So you sit on your hands. There's no trade. Well, for me, at this point, there's no trade for me. So fear of missing out doesn't work with me. I'm not emotional when I trade. It's a business, right? Also, I retired actually at an early age. I use trading to supplement my income. You know, I like nice things, so keeps me going. When I'm at a point that I don't rely on trading money. I'm fortunate in that matter, but I love to trade. I love the whole process of it. If you can embrace the process, you're going to embrace trading. Okay, if you can embrace the process and keep your mind active, continue working those numbers, you know, and keeping just a basic rule set. You know, the first rule: don't lose money, minimize the loss, right? And that comes with patience, right? Because the process is right and things are working. You know, anything can happen in the market, but when you put the things you're looking for, that was a buy order right here at 52.50. Got a bunch of sellers here, but you know what? I like the momentum. I really like the momentum. Yeah, so I'm processing now. I see what it is. Right here at 50 is where we 52.50, 53.50. Got a bunch of sellers here. Let me go ahead and set up my hotkeys. See what's happening. You got a buyer over here. So there's a hidden buyer right here. Not letting. So you could probably say it's absorption, maybe a dark pool. I see buyers all the way up here, had some orders in, came right back up, but right to the low here. And this is where all the negative delta was. So if we put this candle here, and then we take a look at above, where the big numbers, pretty much big numbers are 600, 650. We had 801 here. We know that that was a little resistance. You had a big buyer up here, right here at the 78. And you got some buying here, so they're accumulating. You have a step of the profile right here. So let's see these numbers here, these big numbers here, they're accumulating right inside here. And we're able to push up. You see that? We have some buying imbalances. This is looking good. I'm going to go one above the breakout here. And I'm going to, let's see if we could pop. And this is going to be a quickie. See us coming back down again? Here's where the buyers were before. Oops, what happened? I'm in. Can't believe I'm in. How'd that happen? It's okay. You got to manage since we're in. I think we'll be good here. Let's manage that price action. The top, it looks like I'm losing a little bit of buyers up on top. There you go. Don't know what happened to my order. That wasn't right. I should have made about 3 points there. Still buying it. Looks good. Buying imbalances here. It's pretty much where the high of this candle is. You had a buying imbalance and a buying imbalance. Let's see if this shows a little bit of support. If it does, I'll take another long. You just got to, think about, well, we're coming back up here again. Delta is building. We're not getting any higher. Delta building. Delta just decreased here. You're below the price action of where we thought maybe we had a support issue there. This is looking good. It's coming back down. Let's see if it shows about right here. Okay, we got some selling imbalances. We're not coming back down again. I'm going to go long. Man, what happened? What's going on right here? To go long. Actually, right above here. That's where I want to be. Step in the right below the step of the profile. Let's see if we could get up in there. We got a bunch of support up here, so we have a bunch of buyers. Well, that's what it's telling me. I really can't see. But as far as where the price action is, yeah, it looks like we could make the pop up. This is looking good. You got all these buyers. I'm just waiting for the compression to let loose, and we should be. I think I'm at a good area here. Have some negative delta to get above, and then positive all the way up. We've been there before. We came back down again. It's okay. This is a little shake and bake. We're not in the trade. Looking at this number here, negative 25. Let's see if this becomes less negative. We get a nice boost of buying in. Now, if this POC was below here, I really wouldn't be taking any, but a point or so, to the top of the candle, I'll look at that. Negative 24. Holding the lows a little bit right in here. So we do have buyers up in here now. We'll see if they start taking 19. So this decreased. 29, 2019. This is looking good. It's starting to decrease. This is starting to increase. Okay, so we may actually make a pop. It's going to be a small one. To one on this, but right here. Going to move my one tick above the POC. $688 on the buying. We're not going down. Okay, so we got a good buying support right here. 169, 130 up on top. That made kind of no sense there, but that's cool. Well, let's see where we go with this. I'm just going to let this one ride. We do have, I'm expecting maybe 656. See if we can hold this. That'll be good. Like to see more buyers. Well, we're positive delta now. Or little negative delta, back to positive. There's a little manipulation. A lot of selling just came in. A lot of selling just came in, but our delta numbers are decreasing. Our volume is increasing. That looks good. So we may just get a nice little push up. I got a lot of buyers here. This is looking good. Just keep it going. We'll just go to break even here. All right, we took that one. That was decent. That was a decent, we did get credit for that one. That was 3.5 points. Yeah, I probably could have played that one a little, you know, a little longer. Maybe could have gotten 2 points out of it. But, you know, trading goes both ways, and you're managing the trade as you're in it. These numbers you're trying to keep track of. And, you know, 3.5 points actually were up. I'll tell you in a second how many points were up. I don't think we took, I don't want to kind of horror, knock on wood. we didn't take a loss. I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I took 6 trades. Weren't all 6 filled on. There was one, I don't know what happened. I was up about 4 points and it just didn't click. So I need to call my broker. I need to really figure that out. Yeah, but let's see what we got. Up 6.5 points today so far. It's 10:10 a.m. There are a few things I got to do today. The stream has been running for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I'm just going to leave it here. So far, we have an up day. Market is up 19, which is really good. 0.30%. We're in a green day today. Green day. A green day. And yeah, it's trading, you know. Pretty much finding the levels. And the footprint really tells you, you know, what the levels are. And where the concentration of trading has been. And for those who are not trading the order flow or the footprint, you know, I do have a bunch of videos out there. There are a bunch of other content out there that's very good. Give you the basics. If your software platform supports footprint and you're not using it, you should be, you know. You definitely should be. This is a game changer, especially now that, you know, you got a lot of computer algorithms doing these trades. Now, yes, there are dark pools. There are orders going in that you cannot see. We're just seeing what has been executed. These are primarily market orders. They're the trades. This is the now. This is not. This is what you see is what it is. And just take a look at one candle. Don't focus on anything else. Just take a look at the candle and see how it prints. All right. How many times are we hitting a certain level? What is that? How's that level responding? Take a look at the candle and say, oh yeah, we're a green candle. We must be positive. Not all green candles are positive, but yes, this candle here right now, it's a positive candle. We're closing above 50% of the range of the candle. Okay. And we want to see what the resistance is. Well, the resistance is 60-50. Well, 60-50 is where, you know, the big dollars like to manipulate and also accumulate. So they're manipulating and accumulating. So if they want to make sure that if they're going to go long, that all the selling, right, and the buying has stabilized because they need to make money. So they want to push it down for you to sell, and then when they know all that selling is done, they're going to push it up. They know that they got all the sellers trapped. They are going to go ahead and switch their order. And they're going to use your orders to help them fill theirs. All right? So just keep track of that. So this is my first live stream. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and comment. And those who are, oh, thanks, man. I'm looking at the chat. Cool. All righty. Yeah, Bayek, thanks for the tip. Yeah, the volume is way better. Yeah, I probably would have figured it out at some point, but man, you were on it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be waiting for volume. Yeah, I thought that the volume would be, since we have a lot of this the news, that the volume would be decent to pick up. But yeah, so we're on the new contract. We're on the U contract. The volume has definitely increased there. It's a game changer. And yeah, I won't trade in small volume. It just doesn't make sense to do that. It could be very easily manipulated, and I really rely on and I rely primarily on momentum and volume. All right, everything else, that's what I need to trade. That's my edge. And yeah, so I think this stream was successful today. I'll do more of it. I still got to record, and I'll be offline, and I'll do some more trading with multiple contracts and stuff. And I just want to get more comfortable here with the stream. And yeah, I don't mind streaming live. At least you guys could see this is real. This is in the now. Taking the trades, analyzing, going with it, no FOMO, coming up, adjusting stops, adjusting, this is trading to me. This is what allowed me to stay in the game. I love this price. I felt like hitting it again, and this price action is awesome. But I think we're going to go make a little push down a little bit. But yeah, so for those of you who had doubts that, of the content that I've recorded prior, you could pretty much, put that aside. What you see is what you get. And that's it. So hopefully you got a little bit out of the content here. I'll continue to live stream, but what I'll possibly do is just schedule it the next time. Then again, those of you who showed up for this, viewed, left, or whatever, coming back to it, I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right? Talk to you guys.